Good morning, everyone. We'll continue with our chapter that is transportation of food and minerals in plants of Standard 8 biology book. So, last class we studied about the absorption of water and the process by which the water was being absorbed by the plant, that is osmosis. Today we'll study about importance of minerals, their requirements, and why they are required by the plants. First of all, growth, then development, then synthesis, and then overall health. Moving on to the next slide, that is essential nutrients. Let us see what are the essential nutrients required by the plant. First is the macronutrients. Macro means what? The nutrients which are required in large amount. Those nutrients are named as macronutrients. And the examples are nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, sulfur, magnesium. Okay, then comes your micronutrients. What does it mean? Micro means what? The nutrients which are required in less amount. Those nutrients are termed as micronutrients, like your boron, chlorine, manganese, iron, zinc, copper, molybdenum, nickel, etc. Okay, then moving on to the next slide. In plants, what we can see that there are some nutrient deficiency diseases. We can find some nutrients deficiency diseases in plants. Nutrients like, sometimes it may be nitrogen deficiency, it may be phosphorus deficiency, it may be potassium deficiency. So the symptoms which can be observed during these deficiency, you can see, like nitrogen deficiency, leaves may show chlorosis. What does it mean? Chlorosis means what? Loss of green pigment. Green pigment, chlorophyll. So loss of chlorophyll can be seen. Next is your phosphorus deficiency. If phosphorus is less in the plant, what we can see, the stunted growth of plants. Stunted growth means what? There will be proper growth cannot be seen in the plant. And the next one is potassium deficiency. Potassium deficiency means what? Leaves with scratched edges and irregular chlorotic. So you can see the diagram present here, a photo, an image present here, an image of a leaf with scratched edges. This can happen due to deficiency of potassium. And also we can observe irregular chlorotic. Moving on to the next slide, that is absorption of minerals. Now first we studied about absorption of water, and the process involved was osmosis. Now we'll study how the minerals are absorbed in the plants by the process of two method, that is your diffusion, and the next one is your active transport. What does it mean? Diffusion means what? Movement of molecules from its higher concentration to its lower concentration. Molecules, they will move from higher concentrated area to its lower concentrated area. Don't get confused between osmosis and diffusion. In osmosis, water molecules used to move, but in diffusion, what we can see, there is a movement of molecules, the minerals, the ions, from its higher concentrated area to its lower concentrated area through cell surface. Next process is active transport. Active transport means there will be movement of molecules from its lower concentration to its higher concentration by using energy. Now, sometimes it may happen, there are some minerals which are present less in amount in the soil. So, and these minerals are required by the plants, has to be taken inside the cell, plant cell. So they will use energy, means those minerals are less concentrated in the soil, and high concentration can be found in the cell of the plants. So what is happening? The plants, they use energy for forcibly carrying these minerals from the soil inside the cell. So that is why it is considered as active transport. There is a difference between diffusion and active transport. In diffusion, higher concentration to lower concentration. In active transport, it's lower concentration to higher concentration by using energy. By using energy is important. Next slide shows you conduction of food and water in plants. What is the method? So first point, what you can see that root cells, as written here, root cells. What is the work of root cells? They will absorb water and minerals from the soil. Then they will send, these root cells will send it to the tissues. Okay, and then the root tissues will send the same food, water and minerals to the xylem tissue, and through the xylem tissue the things will be carried to different parts of the body. Okay, then the next point shows you solution inside the xylem is known as sap. Solution which is moving inside the xylem from roots to different parts of the body is known as sap, and the movement of sap from roots to the shoot part is known as ascent of sap. Sap is the solution present inside the xylem. Movement of sap from the roots to the shoot part is known as ascent of sap. Okay, now coming on to the next slide, factors affecting ascent of sap. As there are some factors which affect ascent of sap. First factor is your root pressure. What does it mean? Root pressure is a continuous movement of water from the soil to the roots. So these water, they are being absorbed by the root hair or root cells, and then that is being transported to the xylem tissue, and from the xylem tissue it is transported to the other parts of the plant. So if water is present in the soil, roots will absorb water from the soil. Next comes transpiration, that is loss of water from the aerial parts of the plant. Aerial, I think all of you know, aerial means the parts of the plant which are above the soil. So the transpiration occurs because of more more temperature, and this transpiration leads to ascent of sap, movement of sap from the xylem to other parts of the plant.